Taiwan's lawmakers were again discussing the central budget on Tuesday, although it has already passed legislative review. Tiffany Wong is live from our newsroom here in Taipei. Tiffany, what did they discuss today?
Lawmakers just finished a 2-hour discussion on that controversial central budget that passed weeks ago, this time holding a so-called follow-up discussions. The talks were meant to clarify parts of the budget and address some of the cabinet's concerns that the $89 billion budget left after cuts and freezes could cause some issues when implementing government policy. The approved budget was passed with support from the two opposition parties and marked a record 6% cut to the cabinet's proposed budget, sparking anger from the ruling party and from the premier, who called the cuts suicidal. Now today, no consensus was reached in this discussion.
我们今天的协商显然没有办法达成三党的共识，非常的遗憾。114年度中央政府总预算已经3度通过，也做出最终的决议。因此，基于对民意的尊重，我们也请行政院能够尊重本院的决议，不宜轻易提出复议，增加朝野的纷争。但是我们会尊重行政院做任何决定。
Speaker Han said that the final budget would be sent to the cabinet for approval tomorrow, and then it will be up to the cabinet to decide whether to pass that on to the president for approval or send it back to the legislature for a revote.
So why did lawmakers discuss it again today if it seems like normal procedure would have seen the bill be passed on to the cabinet for approval anyway?
Well, the discussions that happened today come just a week after President Lai Ching-te held an unprecedented meeting with the heads of the 5 branches of government on February 10th. He brought together mostly the cabinet, the executive, as well as the legislature, the Speaker Han Kuo-yu, who's the only member of the opposition party that was present at that meeting. And he called for them to reach consensus across party lines. There, Han promised to hold discussions such as the one today to provide solutions for the cabinet to work within the confines of this budget. The cabinet said that they were still concerned about certain funding, including the funding for the submarine development program. But it should be noted that the approved budget does reflect a 3% growth from the previous year's budget. Now, it's possible that the discussions held today were just meant to appease the cabinet before the legislature sends on the final budget to the cabinet for approval. But as they were unable to come to a consensus today, it's unclear whether this will have any positive effect on the cabinet's decision or if these lawmakers will see themselves having more discussions over a revote soon.